Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm having to talk a little loud because I have a fan on and it's like super loud. And my cat decides it's just going to randomly decide it's going to scratch, and so its collar is ringing. Okay, so obviously clearly I hate these things on my shirts. I know they're supposed to help keep them on the hangers, but annoying. Anyways, so I took a shower already. Like I said in my last video, I was going to take a shower to my visit. So, obviously I changed. I ended up going to my appointment. I don't know how I feel about this new psychiatrist. She at first seemed really nice. Of course, they all do the first 10 minutes of, whatever. Well, the problem is that I gotta move this because my cat just seems to want to eat my food. I got me some leftover broccoli, cheese, chicken, rice, whatever casserole my husband decided to make the other night, and so I'm just gonna eat that for lunch today. So my cat loves chicken and she can smell the chicken and she wants to get into it. So anyways, so my visit wasn't that bad. Like I said, she was okay at the very beginning. Everything was fine. Problem is that as we start talking, and I understand her job is to figure out what medications I'm taking, when, why, who, how much, all that. I get that. My problem is I ended up I've had doctors give me so many different types of medications that a lot of them overlap each other, and sometimes the doctor will have me start one and then I would switch to another one, but then sometimes go back to the other one. So it confuses me sometimes. And so I ended up trying to explain this to this doctor, but she kind of cut me off again. Like, what is up with these doctors cutting them off? I don't know if it's a Talkiatry thing or what. If you use Talkiatry, comment down below, let me know. Do you get the same response from your doctor as well? Because I am like trying to explain to her and talk to her the best way I can, to explain it the best way I can, because I didn't have a chart in front of me. I didn't have any notes written in front of me prior to our visit. All I do is I remember, because last time when I talked to a doctor, the old psychiatrist, last time I talked to him, which was the first and last, he kept asking me questions about the medications, and I didn't have them in front of me, so I had to get up and go get them. So I remembered to have them right by me. So I gathered all my medications, which you guys saw in the last video. I had them right next to me. I was prepared for that. But apparently, that's not what she wanted, because I didn't know, but apparently his notes got transposed to her, because they both work at Talkiatry, that notes, whatever one doctor takes, goes over to the new doctor. So, which is good. I don't have to repeat myself, but I still end up repeating myself in a way. So I was trying to explain all this to the doctor, and in the middle of me trying to explain, but I guess she wanted to ask questions as well, and I was still explaining, and she basically, this is her words, like, I'm talking, da-da-da-da-da, and I'm still talking, and then she just comes out of the blue, randomly just goes, she kind of does this, like, slow eye roll, like that, like, and then she goes, let me talk. Ma'am, I'm paying for this session. I need to talk. You're just supposed to be paid to listen. But she goes, let me talk. She cut me off like mid-word almost, and I'm like, and I saw, that's what my demeanor was like. And I just let her talk, which she was asking questions at the same time, explaining what she wanted from me, and I was getting there. And apparently she didn't let me finish, and so I just let her talk. And when she finished talking or asking questions or whatever it is, then I sat for literally 10 seconds. She didn't say nothing, I didn't say nothing, and I go, and she looked at me, and I looked back at her, and I go, can I talk now? That's exactly what I said. Can I talk now? Because I'm sorry, this is your first impression, if you're a psychologist, psychiatrist, I understand you're trying to get the answers, and sometimes some patients will ramble about things that are not important right now, and you have so much time with them, and you're trying to get as much information as you can without a lot of time. I completely get that, and I tend to ramble. You guys see my YouTube channel, you see my videos. I do ramble. I'm rambling sometimes right now, but it's like but I'm not really rambling. I'm actually telling you the answers of your questions. You're just going to have to decipher a little bit. I'm not going to make it that much easier on you because I can't even fathom it myself. You got a degree so you can do the hard work. And I'm the patient. I'm just saying. So I ended up just naturally, after I said, can I talk? She goes, oh yeah, please. And then I was like, okay, so now I know I need to have like permission. But so I ended up explaining to her about the last doctor, not the other dude, but that I only had one appointment with, but the one before him, who I had for like 6-7 months, almost a year, honestly, who I've been talking to and who has given me these medications and all these issues. I was trying to explain to her about how that doctor's process was. And this is how, from my point of view, this is how it was done. Now, because of my insurance, I don't know some of the name brand of medications. On the bottle, and many people do this because it saves them money when they go get it filled, that you get the generic name. And most of those generic names are the chemical name of the medication. I'm not going to remember those. 9 out of 10 times, those pills are literally, they're chemical names. I mean, it's the same thing. They're just not the brand name. It's like you got, it's kind of like you have Advil, but it's not Advil. Instead, they call it ibuprofen. It's kind of like Tylenol, but it's not Tylenol. It's that acetaminophen or whatever it calls. I can never say it right, but I know what the word is. It's that. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not sitting looking at these labels every day. I'm not sitting here talking about it nonstop every day. So I'm not going to remember everything right off the top of my head the first time we start talking. Now, if you needed this, if you needed a guideline, if you needed a timeline, a chronological guideline, why not send a message to the patient prior, at least a couple of days prior to the appointment, requesting, before our appointment, could you please write down timeline, any prior medications, current medications, who prescribed them, how much, how did you feel? Basically journal it. Give the patient time. If she would have gave me a little bit more time, I probably could have dug a little bit in my phone. I could have dug on my, because I get my medications through CVS, so I could have gone through CVS history of my medications and looked, what I've been prescribed by that doctor. There's so many things I could have done that could have helped her. Because those prescriptions have dates on them, I would have remembered when I took what first, and when I took it, and how much. But because I didn't have that, she was asking me these questions, and I was doing the best I could to survive, to try to tell her what she needed or wanted, so she can better help me. And it seemed like she was getting frustrated because I was focusing on what I'm currently taking now. Because what I took in the past, yes, it means something, but it's not as pertinent as what I'm taking now because I'm moving this point forward in my journey. So I know she needs to know a baseline, like what has worked in the past so we don't have to repeat it, or what doesn't work or whatever. You know what I mean? I understand that concept, but as a patient, most of these medications really mess up our memories anyways. They really do. If you look at the long-term effects, if you've been on it for a while, it does kind of mess up your everything you think, you know what I'm saying? So, your memories. So, in the end, I'm over here like trying the best I can. I told her, I said, I understand what you're trying to do. I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're doing. I get it. And I'm sorry. I apologize if I didn't give you everything you needed. And I mean, at the end, she kind of was okay. She was kind of, you know, she said it was fine. We have other options. We could revisit some medications because it's been many years, like over a decade since the last time I took them, and that was before I had issues that I have now. That they probably could help with this what I'm going through now, but didn't help back then for another issue I had. So we could probably retake it and try again. I guess, but I'm not a guinea pig either. You know what I'm saying? So I know what works for me and what doesn't. And some of these doctors are like, because you took it like 10 years ago and it didn't work for you then, maybe it'll work for you now. Why? Because I'm older? I no, what changed? If they didn't change the chemical in the medicine, if they didn't change the structure of the medication, I mean, it's if they didn't, then I mean, how do you know it's going to help me now? You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense to me. So, but I guess I'm gonna have to entertain that too. And I hate when he goes change. Every time you change doctors, you have to start all over because apparently they don't believe the notes from the last doctor. Apparently they don't believe you when you tell them because they want to see it before their eyes first. I don't know. So I'm gonna give her a chance. I will talk to her again next week. I mean, at least she did that part of it because the last doctor was asking me, when do you want to see me again? I don't know. You're the doctor. You tell me. So at least at least I have that, and she did say there was a lot more we need to discuss medication wise, but she did give me, I think she has me starting on Valar, which I've never taken. I think I've seen commercials about it, I guess, for me being bipolar and everything. So she said she wants me to start. It's a mood stabilizer. So she's like, start on a mood stabilizer first, then because it will protect that part of your brain before we start an anti-anxiety medication, because that's what I'm there for, is the anxiety issues. So because COVID did a big number on my brain and my body. I don't know what happened. It really messed me up. I am not the same person as I was before I got COVID. And I've had COVID about 2 or 3 times now. So, but it was the first time that really messed me up. The second or third time, it wasn't really, yes, I had issues, but it really wasn't that bad. It was probably just a variant or something, but it wasn't bad. But the whole, but the first go around, which was in 2021, that really got me. And I think that was the same variant as was 2020. I went through whole 2020. I even went on vacation during 2020. I went to the beach. I went down to South Padre, and it was fabulous. I loved it because one, there was nobody there. It was nice. It was relaxing. My husband, my daughter, and we got so sunburned, especially my husband and my daughter. I mean, they were out in that ocean. I don't swim in the ocean. I will go up to maybe my hips, and then I only stay there for like a minute or two. Then I suddenly have a panic attack because mud feels like it's sinking. I don't like that feeling because I feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna get stuck. And I have this weird anxiety about there being like animals, because you know how they dig underneath the sand, and like crabs and stuff, they go underneath the sand, and if you sit on them or you stand on them, I don't want to then actually bite me or get me, but 2, I don't want to kill them. I don't want to hurt them. You know what I mean? I don't want to upset their habitat, their area. So I'm very cautious. So even when I go sit on the beach, I'm still cautious of trying to be where I sit. I'm trying to I kind of dig around, move the hand around a little bit, just to kind of make sure there's not happen to be a random crab or something, or an animal kind of taking a nap, and I don't want to disturb them. You know what I mean? So the ocean is I love looking at it. I love hearing it. I love just watching it. That's my thing. My husband and my daughter, they're out there with their snorkel gear on, trying to play in the water. Me, no. I will sit there and feed the seagulls chips. That's what I was doing most of the time. But anyway, so I ended up, you know, so when we went out on vacation during 2020, it was like I was expecting to get sick then. Plus, we stayed at two different hotels during that whole week. We stayed at one, and then we decided, instead of coming home, we decided to stay another day or two. So we switched because the hotel we were at, they didn't have an opening for us to extend our stay, and we didn't want to pay that outrageous price if we overstayed without having it booked. So I think I got online and I found another hotel that was nearby, and we basically got our stuff, put it in the car, drove down maybe a block, and then checked in another hotel, and then yeah. And the second hotel was like, it looks nice from the street, but I wouldn't recommend that. But I'm not going to speak about that one right now. That would probably could be another story. Who knows? If you're interested, comment down below. Let me know if you're interested in my little vacation stories, because I have a whole bunch of them that I can talk about. Because I've been all over the place. So I've been blessed enough to be all over the place. Like I said, but prior to 2021, as soon as we got all that snow in early January, February, it was like snow apocalypse here in Texas. When all that was happening in 2021, that's when I got sick. And I somehow got COVID. I don't know how, because I was home. My husband was home because he couldn't go to work, and because of the snow. And my daughter was homeschooled, so she's been homeschooled for a while before that. So there was nothing coming in and going. So I don't know how I got COVID, but they didn't end up with COVID, but I did. And even though they stayed around me and everything like that, they didn't get it. My husband stayed in the same bed with me. He still didn't get it, even though I was sick the whole entire time, coughing, trying to breathe, everything. Nope. They were actually my little nurses, especially my daughter. But that's another story. But I was surprised I didn't get COVID during 2020. But 2021, I did. And when I got it, I kept passing out so much. I kept going in and out of consciousness. I don't know why, but I kept doing that. They kept saying because I wasn't eating, I wasn't breathing right. That's probably why, probably my blood sugars, probably my blood pressure, whatever. I ended up getting an antibody treatment, which was a miracle. And I don't understand why they stopped it, because I was lucky enough to get during the trials, and it worked. 45 minutes after I had taken an hour-long IV drip of an antibody, I could taste. I had an appetite. I can start to smell. I started to my cough was still kind of lingering, but it wasn't as bad. I was able to kind of starting to get to actually sleep. I was actually getting better, and for the first time, I was actually craving to eat food because I didn't want to eat anything. And during the whole entire time I was sick, and I mean, that's probably why I was passing out a lot too. But it was so bad that, but when I got over it, the only thing that kept coming and going was me feeling like I was going to pass out. And now I'm at the point where it's not the point of feeling like I'm going to pass out all the time now, because I do get it every now and then. It's not as bad as it was, 4 years ago. But as time goes on, seems like that part's getting better. I suddenly started having anxiety attacks. And then I became a lot of agoraphobic. I would not leave the house. I'm one that's planned vacations. I'm the person in the family who plans vacations. I plan a whole family thing. I literally am the one who books everything, who collects the money, who signs up for the activities, who gives everybody their itineraries. That's what I do. That's me. I'm the one who does it. I went from that personality who was always on the go, who had all the energy in the world, to now scared to leave the fucking house. And even when I do leave the house, I am making sure I have to take some kind of medication or diazepam or something to try to keep me from having a panic attack. And then, but now it's not just when I leave the house, but also when I'm at home. I will randomly have them. So this is why I've been seeking out something. If my molecular system has changed, then I need, and this is going to be who I am from this point forward, I need something to help me manage it. So, with that being said, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. So with this new doctor, I think I'm going to give her a try. I'm going to do another session. Let's see how another session works. And I'm going to try this new medication. It's not an anxiety medication, it's a mood stabilizer, but I'm going to see if that may help a little bit. Who knows? She said even if you don't feel nothing on it, you don't feel like it's doing anything, that's kind of good. That means because you're not in a manic episode, so you should be fine. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's so far that's updated what's been going on. This is my vlog. Trust me, I'm gonna have these videos, but I'm gonna have other videos out with other things as well. And I hope you guys have a great day. Rest of the week. It's only Tuesday this week. I thought this week was going by fast, but yesterday it felt like it was going by fast, and now today it feels like it's going slow. So I don't know. But anyways, guys, I hope you can stay safe. And I hope you're enjoying your fall Halloween festivities. And again, don't be mad at me if I don't get a video out, a real video out before the end of the month, even though I said I was going to. But I'm going to try, but I don't think I will. And if I do, it won't be very good quality. So I think good things come to those who wait. So we'll see. But thanks for being supportive. Thanks for standing by me. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.